All right, so my name is Alex Nicolau. I work for Samsung Electronics, and basically I'm here to talk about the two units that you have on display right here. Before I go any further, I wanted to say a few things about us being first. And it's a known fact already, it's nothing new that you guys don't know yet, but we are the first who in January introduced the 3D TV. We are the first who introduced 3D TV on all three platforms, LED, LCD, and plasma. We were the first who understood the need for active glasses. So the only 3D movie out there for home entertainment. We bundled it up with 2 pairs of glasses and gave it free with the purchase of a 3D Blu-ray player and 3D TV. It's a market-driven demand. A lot of things could be improved, a lot of things could be changed, will change, and as time progresses, new accommodations will be made by all the manufacturers. Actually, I read that some guys in Switzerland are trying to go back to the red and blue plastic glasses, narrow the spectrum as much as they possibly can, try to reconfigure the screen to emit a particular wavelength that will match those glasses, so we can buy it very, very cheaply. Now, again, this is something of the future. The only reason I mention it is because it's out there. People are trying to give answers to those questions that were asked before. Also at CES this year in January, we showed up a model of a 3D TV without glasses. That being said, I have to tell you, it was about this tall, about this wide, and about this deep. And you had to be point on dead center. It took a half a step to right and to left, you lost it. But if you were dead center, and the little animation of the Pinocchio's nose that they were running, it was coming right out of the screen into your eyes. It was amazing. However, to put things into a different perspective, the 3D that our TVs are capable of today started being developed in 1999. We are talking big chunks of time until a product becomes market viable. So it's a process. Now, talking about, now I wrote my few things down just so I won't forget it. Let's talk about plasma. Plasma had a inherent property that most everybody was not very happy with, and that is having glass front and back of the plasma screen created 2 points of possible reflections. When you put black behind the glass, it becomes a mirror. Having 2 glasses with the same property can give you a lot of unwanted reflections from around the room. Therefore, at retail level, people were asking, which room you're going to put this in? You put a light, you go to an LCD panel. You put it in a dark room, you go to a plasma panel. However, since the LCD came onto the market, there was a question that almost every consumer asked, which one is better, plasma or LCD? And I have to say that with the, and some people will swear by plasma, some people will say, I'm not getting anything but LED, LCD screens. Ultimately, the line between them blurred quite a lot, but it's still there. 2 different methods of depicting an image, there's always going to be a difference. And until that is going to be resolved one way or another, that difference is going to still stand, and choices of the consumer are still going to be made one way or another. The other thing is that we made some improvements in our plasma TVs to the content of how the plasma is combined. We move up from regular glasses to high xenon glasses. That gave us the same kind of quality image, but using less electricity, because the xenon glass is more reactive to a lower amount of energy than previously. That allowed us also, and the fact that we also took the front end glass and replace it with the film design. Therefore, this particular unit, it's 1.2 inch thick. There are no heat sinks and there are no fans.
That's great. Wow.
That being said, by design, the heat is going to come out through the front.
Beautiful.
So you have a huge, larger area for the heat to dissipate much faster, because as long as plasma is going to be made, heat is going to be part of the process. which sometimes helps in the heating of the room in the winter.
Lower your oil bill.
Yeah. Exactly. The other thing that I found interesting, about a few weeks ago, I went down to Fort Lauderdale, and Florida is notorious for not being a good market for plasma because it's so hot and it's so bright. However, our local rep in Fort Lauderdale told me that compared to last year, the number of plasma units sold increased. So I guess there is something to be said about that. Last thing I want to talk about our plasma, why we improve it so much. We included as part of the technology a motion judder console. As you know, plasma has a little bit of judder in there, especially when it moves very fast. Introducing the sensor and being able to activate it will really increase the quality of the image. Well, let's move to the LED. Last year we introduced we made a big jump over from fluorescent tubes to LEDs as a light source for our screens. And therefore we introduced a new category, the LED category. Because we moved to LEDs, and by the way, this is our 5th generation LED which we manufacture, and we've been playing with this for a while. We moved from full panel LED, which was one of the main top of the line units that we have, the 8500, which was a full back LED with zones, right? The zone dimming, it was great because it created a great image quality. However, there was a little bit of a problem. That is, when you have one quadrant totally shut down and one quadrant fully blown out, light spilled a little bit over the edge. So the black wasn't that black anymore. So, two things happened in the last 2 years. Number one, we moved to edge lit LEDs. And last year, we had LEDs on all 4 edges, and the screens, the thickness of the units went to about 1.4 inches thick. And obviously, last year from the previous year was about 40% energy savings moving from tubes to LEDs. This year, we only have LEDs top to bottom, and that's an additional 20% savings from last year. So we are going towards that green initiative that Samsung really cares about and is committed to pursue. In the 8000, we have precision dimming built in. And this is the explanation that the engineers from Korea gave me, and they weren't very luxurious in details. So I apologize if the explanation is a little dry. What we were told is that there is a process by which there is an algorithm that controls the light diagonally. And also, in this particular set, there are 2 sets of LEDs, one front to back with a little bit of space in between. By doing that, you can actually control much better how the light is being delivered on the screen, how many LEDs are being lit at the same time, and which intensity each one will give, thus creating very high energy coming down here and very little coming down in the previous screen where we had that black. And it's much easier. Basically, you get the same kind of effect, except instead of having a full back LED TV, you only have the edge lit. And that's a great improvement. The other thing I wanted to mention was that in order to clarify a few things, you cannot have 3D on an LED LCD TV unless it's a 240 Hertz. You need that kind of definition, you need that kind of clarity in order to be able to render a good quality 3D. Samsung also is using a wash frame in between, and that has to do with the way that our eyes physiology works. When we have a little bit of latent image after remaining on the retina after the original subject moved away. So in order to prevent crosstalk between the eyes when you're watching it and the image changes from one eye to another, you have that clearing frame that flashes in. I guess that's pretty much it. I kept it, I guess, fairly short.
You were terrific.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
That was great. I like it very much.
Thank you. I guess, yes.
Just one quick question.
Sure.
Why did you go with a silver frame?
Oh, that was a design, marketing decision. Every step of our TVs has a different finish product. Silver frame in this case, it was an answer or continuity, if you like, with the whole home motif. A lot of people are going to stainless steel finish in their kitchen appliances. So this could be, if you have like an open setting kind of, could be a continuation of that whole idea.
I like it. Brushed aluminum.
I like it too. Designers have been asking for it for years to get brushed aluminum. They want that. Professional broadcast products are a matte black, so there's no reflections from a glossy black surface. But they would never use silver. But a TV broadcast monitor would be a matte black frame too. Would you agree, Tony?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Tony's at CBS Broadcasting as a recently retired producer of 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Promise not to embarrass everybody. I should say who you are. Should I tell everybody who you are? No bother. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks very, very much, Alex. Again, that was really terrific. I really appreciate it. Let's see. So.